his claims are barred. And his challenge, he doesn't want to go to Uganda, is not even a live controversy. We're not even trying to send him to Uganda anymore. He says, I'm going to get tortured in Uganda, which is, I think, a little racist.
But as the DHS secretary, would you say that Democrats are a domestic extremist organization?
Yes
or no?
Yes.
The views are extreme and they don't align with the American people at all. And I wish that our media and I wish reporters like you, Caitlin, would talk about the victims every day that we interact with, that we send you the stories on that you refuse to tell.
Kristi Noem is not taking it anymore, duking it out with CNN's Caitlin Collins over these attacks that are happening on the ICE facilities. All they're trying to do is follow the law and deport people who shouldn't be here, including this individual called Kilmar Abrego, wife beater who human trafficked people into our country, was let go by the FBI. Now Kristi Noem and the DOJ are responding back over to his petition for a writ of habeas corpus. He says, you can't deport me. I'm an illegal. I have all the rights of citizens and even more. I have due process premium. I have American citizenship plus. I get more privileges than you. I have multiple judges in multiple jurisdictions colluding to prevent me from being deported to Eswatini, which is where he belongs. He actually belongs in Guatemala, which is where his family is, but doesn't want to go there because of pupusas. So Kristi Noem is duking it out. She said the following here: the media refuses to tell the truth, liars, about the violent, criminal, illegal aliens that ICE is removing, like the monster who strangled and killed a precious baby girl, while demonizing the men and women risking their lives to stop them. And the men and women of ICE are heroes. Coming from Kristi Noem in response to Kilmar's attempts to stay in this country, this is what ICE is doing that's making them so mad. You can't deport these people, Kristi writes, DOJ. All right, here's the situation, Judge. Kilmar surreptitiously and unlawfully entered the United States and has no right to remain here, period. Now, indeed, he had the full benefit of full removal proceedings under the Immigration and Nationality Act. He had a final order of removal that we've read about 100 times here in 2019. And it said he could be deported. They said he couldn't go back to Guatemala, which is where his family was, which was the nexus of his withholding protection because his family in Guatemala was under attack from Barrio 18 and the Pupusa gang. So he had due process. He's already had multiple due process. He appealed it and got denied and has made multiple attempts. Now he's got ACLU lawyers and rigged corrupt judges who are handing him off and writing orders to paper over each other's malfeasance. The government first attempted to execute the removal order in March 25. Now Kilmar is back in the United States and circumstances have been returned to the status quo. Okay, so he's still in our country, happy, as they existed prior to his removal. And now the government is now going to remove him to a third-party country because he remains subject to the original order back from 2019. And she says, again, it's withholding of removal from El Salvador and El Salvador only. And there must be some other document out there that we have not seen because there is no evidence from this in the David Jones order. He writes specifically it's about Guatemala, but they had a better argument. Remember, the poison pill attorney, Iraz Ruvani, was the person who said that, and we haven't seen any evidence of it. And the last we heard, they didn't even have the A file for Kilmar when they were even making their claims. And I emailed Kilmar's lawyers and said, can you just give me a copy of an order, please, that shows it says El Salvador anywhere? Of course, crickets from them because they're not going to obviously give me something that they don't have. So in response, petitioner instituted this action challenging both his potential removal to Uganda as well as his detention. Uganda, Eswatini, he doesn't want to go anywhere because apparently the Pupusa gangs are global. Now, his claims are both procedurally barred and they're meritless. They're even unserious. As an initial matter, the Immigration and Nationality Act provides a process for him to seek relief from a third country removal. He can file a motion to reopen his petition and seek a stay from an immigration judge, but he's not doing that, right? Because he wants to go into the Article 3 courts and get all of the rights and privileges of American citizens, which is the entire operation here, is to try to basically smuggle in illegal alien status into citizenship status or quasi-citizenship status, so you can't remove them. Now, petitioner has done so, and those motions are currently pending. Now, in addition, Homeland has processes that the petitioner could invoke, which are also currently playing out. But the Immigration and Nationality Act does not permit, and indeed bars, this collateral challenge to removal and detention. And so this court should therefore permit those procedures to play out while respecting Congress's prohibition on this. Now, as to his challenges to removal, he's part of a mandatory class, in that case, in Massachusetts, and so he can't assert the same claims here. His claims are barred. And his challenge, he doesn't want to go to Uganda, is not even a live controversy. We're not even trying to send him to Uganda anymore. He says, I'm going to get tortured in Uganda, which is, I think, a little racist. Now, petitioner's challenge to his detention are likewise impermissible collateral damage and premature. The Supreme Court court permits detention pending removal, which is what we're doing now. Now, his lawyers are also betraying a level of gamesmanship. He's trying to remain in the United States, and this court should not indulge it. For example, while he claims that Costa Rica is his preferred country of removal, he's also expressing a fear of prosecution and torture if he is removed to Costa Rica. Yeah. So he's claiming that his preferred destination country is going to torture him. This is a claim that, if he actually believed it, would presumably motivate him to pick a different place if he's going to get tortured there. So why does he want to go there? So indeed, he has already expressed putative fear of persecution or torture from more than 20 nations who all apparently want a piece of this dude, and has made clear that he may assert fears for any country if he doesn't prefer it. So that's not how this works. Now, this suit is trying to delay the too long delayed execution of his final order of removal. It's 2025. This dude was supposed to be gone in 2019. And so he filed a petition for habeas, and he wants to stay. And they ultimately say it is not effective. He needs to go. And so here's what Kristi Noem said when she was duking it out with CNN.
I would love to see these Democrats denounce these criminals, these individuals that are out there trafficking drugs and trafficking our children, raping our girls and boys and selling them, and people that are out there committing criminal acts, robbing and murdering individuals. I haven't seen these Democrats do that, and they should. Gavin Newsom should. Tim Walz should. They should denounce these activities. Crockett, we should have all of them stand up and say enough is enough. American citizens deserve safety, and we're not going to stand behind any criminals and support them over our law enforcement officers.
But as the DHS secretary, would you say that Democrats are a domestic extremist organization?
Yes
or no?
Yes.
Their views are extreme, and they don't align with the American people at all. And I wish that our media, and I wish reporters like you, Caitlin, would talk about the victims every day that we interact with, that we send you the stories on that you refuse to tell, about the poor little girl and baby that was strangled yesterday by an illegal criminal and died. That baby died overnight. That was the first news I got this morning when I got up at 4 a.m. Then the next news that I got was that the media had reported that a father had his child taken away from him, when in all reality, this poor little autistic girl was abandoned by her father.
But CNN didn't report that, right, Secretary Noem?
But you know what, Caitlin, just if you guys would just tell the truth about what these criminals are and what they've done in their history.
We tell the truth
and make it
every
about
night.
the victims. That'd be fantastic. We send out about 5 or 6 different press releases every day correcting stories, and I'll send you the copies of the ones that you've gotten wrong that we've been able to correct. But these law enforcement officers are being demonized, and they should be supported because they have families too, and they live in these communities. Their kids go to school there. Their spouses go to work, and they just want to go at night and make their community and their city safer.
Kristi Noem saying, hey, Caitlin, can you just tell the truth for once in your life? You guys can just do a good job and be honest and truthful. Of course, we know that's not going to happen. So we'll keep our eye on this one. But Kristi Noem is defending ICE and continuing to remove Kilmar, wife beater Abrego Garcia.